I live on top of tiny hills that I would gladly die on. Here's another. Stop serving untossed salads in bowls too small for them. That's a good one. Full score. If you cut in line, I will call you out in front of everyone. You might be crazy, but so am I. I'm pretty sure calling people out on this has almost gotten me stabbed on more than one occasion, but something about it just immediately flips a switch in my brain. Back in the 80s, my mom was waiting in line to tour Buckingham Palace, or something, when a couple of other tourists cut in front of her. She didn't know how to handle it, but a couple of nuns in line behind her started yelling, "Queue jumpers! Queue jumpers," and the guards pulled them out of line. Nuns don't play. Apartment buildings should have much better sound isolation between units. My apartment building has concrete walls and half the time I forget I even have neighbors. It's honestly amazing. Text and email are not interchangeable. They serve different purposes. A business contact recently asked if I prefer email or text communication, when we both established that phone calls are our least favorite method. I didn't know how to answer BC. They both have their time and place and, like you said, aren't interchangeable. I was like, yes. Cooking entirely without salt, and then sprinkling table salt on the end, does not produce the same effect. That's not a small hill. It's big enough for both of us to die on. Women's pants and dress sizes are arbitrary and honestly pointless. A 2 in one store is an 8 in another. Either universalize the sizing or don't bother with having a size at all. Why just women's pants and dress sizes? Any clothes not sized by their actual measurements, which is everything but Western men's pants from my personal experience, are arbitrary. The semicolon is underused, misused, and valuable. I'm still not entirely I use them right yet. Candy canes need to be easier to open. The right plastic wrapping is messy and super annoying to take off, especially if it's already cracked. Okay, but my old-ass history teacher sophomore year of high school actually invented the packaging for candy canes and lived off the money he made from that while donating his teacher salary every year to charities. So, IDK, what my point is. If your wipers are on, your lights should be on. In California it's the law. Lights should always be on anyway. There is literally no downside. How someone treats a communal space is a very accurate way of judging character. I want to piggyback and add that how they treat their work office as well. Do they keep the area tidy or do they leave it a hot mess cause they don't have to clean it? The janitor will come by and clean it for them. As a janitor, I've noticed the people who keep their workspace clean and don't leave trash all over the floor for me to pick up are the ones who treat me better. Versus the ones who are slobs and act like they're better than me cause I'm just a janitor. Customer surveys at the end of a phone call should give you the option to rate the company's leadership and not the poor customer service representative forced to implement their decisions. OMG yes. Often even if I'm not happy after speaking with someone, often they want to help but just can't because they can't control policy. Surveys make sense to root out genuinely unhelpful people, but 90% of the time you're upset it's because of the company itself. Those bright LED headlights on cars should be illegal. I'm with you on this hill. Fucking stop with the blinding headlights. Frozen isn't a Christmas movie, or even a winter movie in spite of the fact that it has winter themes. It literally takes place in the summer, and that's a big-ass part of the plot. I was unaware some people considered Frozen a Christmas movie lol. I got accused of breaking a kid's beats in 7th grade, over a decade ago. I did not do it, and to this day I still get extremely angry when somebody mentions that I broke that kid's headphones in middle school. Luckily it doesn't happen much, but it has been brought up twice in the past month. I was accused of flashing someone while I was wearing a skirt in high school on a windy day. This friend of hers won't stop bringing it up every time I cross paths with her. She's even said it to my children. I hate how people hold on to BS false memories. If you have an itch you're trying to relieve, you are scratching it, not itching it. I'm so glad I've never heard anyone say this. All showers should have a place to rest your foot while shaving your legs. Expand this to having shower seats. I will fight you to death if you say that blue and purple on a black background can be used in a line graph. This isn't that small of a hill. From an accessibility perspective, that wouldn't pass AA requirements for contrast. That being said, you have verifiable data that people who are visually impaired cannot see your graph and therefore it is not accessible and you can be sued for it. Using your GD turn signal. This is not a small hill. If you regularly bite and scrape your teeth over your silverware when you eat, you should not be allowed in civilized society. Can I throw in loud chewing? I could care less means you care at least a little. If you want to say you don't care at all, the correct colloquialism for that is, I couldn't care less. I used to argue with my friends about this when I was in high school. They explained it as, you care so little that you don't even care enough to. Couldn't care less. If you couldn't care less, it would be caring too much. I honestly thought I was going crazy until I was in my 20s. Flush your damn toilet in public restrooms. Who the hell blows it out their ass? Wipes, probably poorly. Yeah, nasty. And just gets up and leaves for the next person to find? Adding on to this. Who the fuck wipes their ass and throws the shit-covered toilet paper in the garbage so it can ferment where everyone else has to smell it? I have to clean the bathroom at my job. Grown-ass adults do this shit too often. The Oxford comma is important, necessary, and altogether wonderful. Lost a friend because of this. Send an email letting them know. As I was walking down the street I saw your mother, a thief and a hooker. Littering. If you litter you are disgusting, filthy, and poor excuse for a human. This is why I want Judge Dredd powers, only to instantly execute litterers. No is a complete sentence. I don't need to explain it or justify it. No.